Readerful Rise books are specifically put together really as independent reads. They're self-supporting, with the way that they're laid out, and little kind of self-teaching, very discrete, simple self-teaching features throughout. And they're most importantly that they're really fun. They're designed for children to be given to read, and they would hopefully choose to read them because A, they're engaging, and B, they look age appropriate. They can, of course, also be used with a small group approach, but I would avoid probably the traditional guided reading model with these books, primarily because they are designed to be fun, independent reads, similar to the kinds of things that non-struggling readers would choose to read in the juniors that you wouldn't really bring into a guided reading situation. So if we can sort of match that and have parity with that, so that if you are doing group work, I would tend to encourage children to read these Rise books independently, but then come together and talk about them more like a book group, so that they can come together with you, with an adult, and talk about things like what they liked, what they weren't sure about, really the most interesting fact that they learned, the funniest joke, and maybe even pose any questions that came up in their minds as they were reading. The other thing that you can do with a group that I think will work really, really well with these books is that at the end of these Rise books, there is a little read aloud section that's specifically designed for the development of fluency. And they will work individually, independently, but it will be so good to do in paired or small group work. They are designed as readers aloud, so they're specifically poems that have rhythm and rhyme, so that you can build their fluency through a performance of that, or play scripts. And obviously they will work much better if children do those in tiny little groups. The things with poetry and plays is that they're very natural to read aloud, and it's very natural to read them repeatedly. And we know that that's a great development in terms of fluency, and that would definitely be worth doing as a very small group.